Hey, what's up guys? This is Snap, K-Pop Snap, back with another video. As you guys can see from the title of this video, we're going to be doing an explain video to Red Velvet's new subunit. Subunit being IS. IRENE and Seulgi have debuted with a new mini album, Monster, which is also the name of their title track. I'm actually going to have another video out on the whole experience of the comeback and what I actually thought about the music video and the song. But this video is going to be a little bit different in that I'm going to explain what actually happened in the music video by analyzing the music video, the lyrics, and the song itself. So let's go ahead and get started. So getting started off, we're actually just going to look through the music video itself. The first thing we see off the bat is a ramp, and Seulgi is climbing down this ramp on all fours towards IRENE, who's sitting at the bottom of the ramp. IRENE is meant to be the dominant person in this relationship, or in this storyline. And then Seulgi's, for lack of a better term, is, I guess, the submissive person, the person who is being controlled, the person who's being dominated over. Going into the next image, it's part of the choreography. They form a monster per se, and Seulgi is at the top of that monster and is the head of the monster, while IRENE is at the bottom of that monster. I guess it's a little clue as to things to come later when the roles are reversed. We see a lot of other images of their IRENE being possessive over Seulgi and kind of like drawing her in, as you guys can see from her crawling towards her again. And then in a later image, IRENE cutting up a human skull. She's cutting the cranium, so the top of the human skull. Is that kind of a hint as into like she will like control part of your mind? Like she'll take pieces of your mind away from you, or away from Seulgi to be more specific. There's also a lot of scenes where we see IRENE looking evil or sinister, and where her face is covered in darkness, or where she just has this like wicked smile in her face, showing signs of being this monster that they're singing about. Another sequence during the music video is a part that they kind of said was a killing part during their V-Live, and it was essentially Seulgi kind of like uppercuts IRENE. Obviously they're not actually making contact, but they're dancing, and she uppercuts her and IRENE lifts her head, it kind of shows like Seulgi is trying to fight IRENE off, because, you know, she's trying to possess her or like dominate her, and Seulgi is trying to fight back and make sure that she still has control of herself. But then right after the next part of the dance, it's literally IRENE, like she puts her hands forward and now she's taking control again, and now they kind of start doing the same movements, as in like IRENE is controlling Seulgi and she's making her do the exact same movements she's doing. At the end of that dancing part, you see Seulgi take IRENE's hand and kind of like lift it away, as in to show that she's not being controlled and that she still has control over her own body. Also during the music video a lot, and I guess this kind of shows this dynamic that, is this about, maybe not necessarily about a relationship between Seulgi and IRENE, maybe they're just playing the parts, but is this actually talking about real relationships? When you see a lot of close interactions between Seulgi, there are moments when their faces are really close and they're looking into each other's eyes, or they're looking at each other's lips, kind of to say that, you know, they have a relationship established, maybe not exactly a romantic relationship, or maybe it is a romantic relationship, which is okay. You also see intimate close pictures where they show us IRENE's face or they show us Seulgi's face, and it's almost like that person's being dominant over the other. I have also thought, maybe to an extent, that we're actually being played and Seulgi's the monster and IRENE's actually the one being taken advantage of or possessed or being submissive. For example, this is one of the examples of why I think maybe Seulgi is actually the one trying to take over IRENE, or is the dominant one in this situation, when you see a scene of IRENE sleeping and Seulgi looking out the window. It doesn't compare to the next scene where Seulgi is the one sleeping and IRENE is walking towards her, kind of sinisterly staring at her, kind of like she's about to like take over her, or like the song says, make her have nightmares only of her. And then moving on from that scene, we do see IRENE with a gun. She essentially readies the gun and she points it at the screen. Is she pointing it at the viewer, or is Irene on the other side of that image? And then she actually does point the gun down at what could actually be a grave or like a ritual site, because it has like candles and skulls, or have to do with the lyrics. I think Irene says she comes out of the cold, hard ground. Is she actually pointing it at the ground where Irene's coming out? Because there's actually some vegetation there. And then we see this really creepy scene where Irene is with like a bunch of dolls. And actually during this part is also, if you listen closer to the song, you kind of hear these little like almost squeals or little moans in the background of the song during the doll part, which she holds one and then she holds the other, and both of them have like a little squeal, and then she puts one down. A little creepy to say that, but I think it's really just trying to establish her as the monster. And then the most revealing part of all, and probably the most obvious side that Irene is the monster, is during what I think is the chorus, where she kind of holds on to Irene to support herself and then puts her, and then kind of like leans on her to the side, and you see her eyes turn red, you see her grow horns, and then you see her face kind of all bloody, and then her face is even paler. It's almost like a mask has like, or her true self has come out for a second, and then it goes back inside of her. And then this part, it flashed by really quick during the breakdown of the chorus. I questioned whether it was Seulgi or Irene at first, but it's somebody holding a teddy bear, and the teddy bear is like blooded. I think it's missing an ear as well. That person looks to be holding like a knife or a sharp tool, as to show that like they had murdered the bear. If you guys aren't aware, they always joke about Seulgi looking like a bear. And in the next image that I have, it actually shows Irene was holding the bear. The bear isn't bloodied actually anymore, and it doesn't have the dress it had on, but it's Irene holding the bear. So I think that kind of confirms that Irene is the monster per se, and that she's actually taking control over Seulgi the bear. Good little Easter egg they had in there. I really liked it, and it kind of confirmed my intuition. And again, we get Seulgi with the gun. Is she trying to fight off Irene with the gun? But then as she pulls back the gun, almost as if she's like fine and being submissive and almost accepting the monster, which again we'll talk about in the lyric breakdown that I have. At the end, we actually see them forming that monster with their dancers again, but Irene is the head of the monster while Seulgi's in the bottom. And then they end with, again, Irene over Seulgi. A lot of the visuals of the music video point to Irene being the monster and Seulgi being possessed and taken over, but at some points you also kind of see Seulgi kind of being submissive and kind of being okay with being controlled. That was it for the music video. Let's go ahead and move on to the lyrics. I am going to be reading some of the lyrics off my computer, so sorry for not looking at the camera. So to start off with, Irene says, "My movement is unique, not ordinary. 1, 2, 5 to 7. I'm not sure if she's like counting her dance moves, or if it's another situation where Red Velvet counts from 1, 2 to 5. And then she says, "I'm a dancer in the darkness." It's almost like she feels, this is her starting to feel like she's being controlled. Then Irene moves on to say, "I'll crack every joint in my body and come close to your bed. I'll horribly steal your heart and dominate you." If this isn't a complete sign that Irene is the monster in this situation, I don't know what else is. She's literally saying that she is going to dominate her, that she's cracking every joint of her body like a monster would, and then creeping up to her bed. This is like a telltale sign of every monster I've heard of. Then Irene moves on to say, "Under a single light, why are there two shadows? I think something else woke up inside of me." Like her previous line, I think she feels the monster coming inside of her, and taking over her. Moving on to the next verse, Irene says, I rose from the ashes in the cold ground. From dawn to dusk, I still exist. So this is essentially showing that she's not going away, that she'll always be there, that even if she's not per se having Seulgi's not per se having a nightmare, that she's always there. Seulgi moving on to say, I don't hate this madness. I'm having fun. You can't get out. Don't run away, you'll get hurt. Like I said previously, Seulgi's almost embracing the monster. She's embracing Irene. She says she doesn't hate like the madness. She doesn't hate the wickedness that Irene is showing, and that she's having fun, that she's enjoying herself, and that she doesn't want her to leave, that she's scared that if Irene leaves or the monster leaves, that it's gonna get hurt. She wants the monster to stay inside of her. Irene moving on to say, I save you and tease you again. Oh, I'm perfect and messed up. She's playing around with her prey. She's playing around with Seulgi. That also is prevalent in the lyrics when they say, I'll dance and play as I cast a spell on you. As in, she's having fun manipulating or dominating over Seulgi. Then we get past the chorus, and Irene says, see, I'm just playing. No bad intentions. I'm small but dangerous. Who would refuse me? She's kind of comforting Seulgi, saying that she's just playing and that she has no bad intentions. But at the end of the day, she's also warning her, saying that she's dangerous, but that she's irresistible. Who would refuse me? Who wouldn't want this monster inside of them? You're enjoying it. You want this. This is what Irene is saying. Seulgi moving on to her last line. It's time for the red sun to rise. Morning has come. Now that you're relieved, so I guess she's saying that Irene has had her time to play and that she's kind of done. You tried to come out of the dream, but monsters live forever. So it's almost as if Irene came to possess Seulgi, but now Seulgi isn't letting her leave. But I just got this realization on camera. She doesn't want her to leave. She wants her to essentially monsters live forever. So she wants her to stay inside of her. So now I guess they're one. I guess that also explains the part in the dance where they are one, top head, bottom head. I did not get that the first time. And then just to analyze the chorus itself. I'm a monster, be scared of me. I'm bothering you, making you dream only of me. I'll dance and play as I cast a spell on your body on a nightmare. Again, it's her possessing her in her sleep. And then I'm a little monster is the chorus. So hopping onto the actual song, I have a couple notes here. There are instances, if you really listen to it, you hear a little moan or a little squeal. And it's kind of like a monster is a part of the song. And then during the chorus, also the chorus breakdown, you almost hear a voice. They're using voice as the melody. And so you hear the voice, and it's almost like, yes, it's Irene Seulgi, but it's also a monster. Or Irene's on here twice as much as Seulgi is. Let's riot. I'm kidding. And also during the chorus itself, when they're like, I'm a little monster, you kind of hear a little whispering on the side. The way that they use voice as music, as in as melodies, a part of the song, as opposed to actually using it, as the vocals of the song. I really enjoyed that. And also about halfway through the song, or in the second chorus, you started to hear these high opera runs halfway through the song in the second chorus and third chorus. I'm not going to take too much into that, but it did make the track a little bit creepier. And just to end off the analysis of the song, like 8 to 7 seconds before the actual song ends. So obviously we've been hearing those moans and squeals throughout the whole video, but this time you actually hear this like creature in the song like laugh. It laughs. It's laughing at us. And I just thought that was creepy. Wow, this is the most intricate Red Velvet music video that I've probably ever seen. I really hope they keep doing stuff like this because it's just so intriguing and I love analyzing it. I've literally pause, play the video so many times just to capture screenshots and to just try to understand what's going on. I did the same thing with the song. I try to analyze the song and the lyrics. It's amazing how, when a video gets you so involved in analyzing it that it makes you make a whole video on it. Alright guys, this is Michael signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys agreed with my analysis, go ahead and let me know. If you guys caught things that I didn't catch, go ahead and also let me know. It'd be interesting to see what you guys thought the story of the music video actually was, or if I missed something, I would like to go ahead and know. Please go ahead and also check out my other video where I actually talk about what my opinion on the music video and the comeback itself. It's a little rant. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.